Thanks for tuning in to our first episode together in a modded Minecraft series. This is a Let's Play series. It's our first episode ever of anything, and it's a collab together. We're going to be keeping track. We're playing all the mods 8. It's a pretty new mod pack. It's a 1.19.2 mod pack. And yeah, we played it a little bit whenever it had first come out, but there was so many bugs that it was nearly unplayable. So we have a little bit of familiarity, but between the updates and everything, it's kind of a different ball game. We just spawned into the server, and we are in what looks to be an evil craft spawn structure, and we've got some loot chests. It is nighttime, so it's a bit dangerous right now. Let's see what we got.
I think we definitely plan on hanging out here until the sun comes back up. Just peeking around, there's a couple skeletons that have been trying to snipe us from up here.
Get a million achievements real quick. Alright. Um,
You could just I broke the slab right here so we could float our way down once the sun comes up.
we could probably even just make a hole. It's gonna be a hot minute before. Well, no, it looks like the
It's right
sun
there.
is coming up right about
Yeah.
now. I got some bunny slippers, so I can already
Must be nice.
fall. So these are from Artifacts mod, and it increases the jump wearer's height and grants immunity fall damage. Really nice for, unless you throw them out into the ground like that, then they're not so nice.
Oh my goodness, are they gonna get taken with the water?
It's like 5 minute despawn timer, so it should be fine. The sun should start burning that
Yeah.
skeleton, even though
Well,
there's
here
water there. So as long as he's in water, he's actually
you
not.
won't.
Did you
Right.
get any, like an axe
Here,
or anything?
take this. This is a helm I picked up, and here.
Okay, we got an axe, so I don't have to go into battle with a shovel, which is great.
Which is kind of nice. Let's get it.
Alright, so he's dead.
Now, where
Yeah,
did the slippers go?
oh, they're there. Alright, so I got those on, so now I've got some jump height. We'll need to get some food sorted. So the idea behind this series is that we wanted to try to be educational and teach a little bit about how modded Minecraft works. Um, wow, there's 2 wandering
I
villagers in the
know.
same spot.
I know. It's
A lot of times in modded, you'll find that these wandering traders can actually give you really good stuff, but they're usually pretty expensive, so it looks like neither of these have anything good.
yeah.
But these llamas do have leather. So,
Early game, they're not worth much, but taunting you.
so the reason I'm jumping when I swing is because in Minecraft, and this is actually a vanilla mechanic, but if you are falling when you swing at something, you will crit it and do more damage, especially with an axe that has 9 attack, whereas a sword usually has like 6
And
or
I
7.
believe the mod. Yep. Knowledge of death. So, killing these is actually going to be beneficial to us in the end. Knowledge of death comes with interesting perks about how potions affect you and how you can access your grave, amongst other things. We'll pull up the
So
overlay
we've
here.
got a sheep. We could get that for wool fur bed, but there's a village like right over here, so okay. And there's a spider, and I like string, so got some elemental craft raw air shards. Ah, which is a mod that has ore doubling stuff. The annoying thing about elemental craft is that the setup for
Oh,
it is quite extensive compared to some other mods that are in this pack. It's definitely more involved. Got a bed here.
I have some iron that I loot from that chest, so I'm gonna go ahead and shear some of these sheep.
Will be good for making elevators and whatnot. So we've got a
And a
bed, we've
bed.
got a village. I'm just gonna see. if there's anything worth looting here. Got some plese, I'll take that. Alright.
I had to figure out where you went. Go this way.
Potatoes, alright. So you'll probably notice this little outline that's allowing me to multi-mine many things. That's the FTB Ultimine. It is convenient for breaking lots of things like trees, so we're gonna need some wood. So I have that key set to my mouse button 5. By default, it's set to the grave key or the tilde key, however you want to call it. I just changed mine because I find it to be more convenient on my mouse button. Cool thing about Ultimine is that you can hold the Ultimine key and shift, and you can scroll through. There's a little menu at the top left there that'll change the shape that you're mining. I'm going to leave it on shapeless, so that way it'll grab everything of the same type of block, but in some instances when we're mining, you'll see that we'll actually change that. So I do know from our last playthrough that this pack has toast. And toast is just smelted bread. And if you look at bread, you get like 2.5 haunches with 3 of the hunger points or whatever. With toast, you get 3.5 with like, I don't know how many that is, like 9.5 or something of the reserved hunger. So as long as your haunches are full, you'll regen hearts, and if you have that little yellow bar beyond it, that's how long those haunches will stay full. So you stay full for longer whenever you eat better food, instead of it just running out the second that your hearts use up that hunger. I'm seeing another eelcraft structure over here and a mineral tree. Mineral tree is from Integrated Dynamics, and there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with Integrated Dynamics. I would say comparatively to most mods, it's kind of complex, but once you understand it, it is really powerful. And it allows you to do a lot of the same things that other mods let you do early game, but for a much cheaper cost. So break this tree because it's definitely going to come in handy.
I am actually going to ask Martian a question on this one. Because I would like to kill this golem to get iron ingots, which is standard for non-modded Minecraft. However, these little guards in the village are not standard, and I'm curious, will they attack me if I attack the golem, or is this only a mechanic for if I attack a villager?
Fairly sure that they consider that villager an ally, but I mean, I got Iron Golem an ally, but I'm not. I haven't tested that, so we can definitely try it out, see what happens. Worst case scenario, they murder you.
They are not murdering me yet.
Alright, seems like they don't care.
This is kind of nice. And if anyone's watching this video that has never played Minecraft before, these golems give lots of iron, which is really nice for early game.
I
So
think
I
it's
believe she's
between
got
2
4.
and 5 is the normal drop rate for them, though. Which is also standard for vanilla. Pickaxe yet.
Alright, let's see
Shouldn't
here.
do that.
It's getting close to that time for us to set up some walls and a roof because I am quickly running out of space. I did
So,
loot 2 archwood trees for one of the mods called Ars Nouveau, which we will get into rather soon.
Before we get too far into this, we should set up an FTB team.
oh yeah, that is one of the first things you should always
So
do.
I just created one, and I am going to invite Martian Man to my team.
I just hit enter to pull up the chat, click accept, and then I'm in the team.
So now we are able to access all of each other's equipment, chest, and any claimed area for
Yeah,
things such as power and
specifically if it's claimed, right? Because if you put a chest down in a non-claimed area, anyone can access that on the
correct.
server. But alright. So let's just set up shop somewhere over here. One thing that I like to do is I'll hit F3 and G at the same time so I can see the chunk borders. In modded Minecraft, because you can just chunk load with the FTB chunks mod, uh, putting your base, at least the functions of your base, within the borders of the chunk that you're loading is a good idea because you only have a limited number of chunks that you can load. Now, if you own the server, you can edit that number of chunks and, change it. And we probably will. But if you have a lot of people playing, the more chunks that are loaded, the harder it's going to stress your server, and eventually, you know, it's it's going to just crash, which is something that we're going to try to avoid. So I've got this chunk.
I am not fond of this area. There's a lot of pillagers there, kind of slowly making their way our way.
Well, pillagers can spawn anywhere, and they will spawn next to villages. As long as there's not a pillager outpost over there, it's fine. Let's see, and yeah, those are just spawned in pillagers, and they'll stay away from us for the most part, so that's okay. If there was a pillager outpost over there, then they would just be constantly spawning, but they just have an algorithm that says, hey, send a raid every once in a while if you're near villagers, and there's a village over there, so that's going to happen. But not too terribly often.
Oh,
But we could move. I was just looking for like a flat area to start in, but we could move a little bit closer to the water if you want.
I got kitty slippers, so at least I won't be attacked by creepers now.
Yeah, that's another one from Artifact. They're really good to find early game because there's a lot of really good ones. The kitty slippers are nice. The bunny slippers are probably my favorite. There's one that's called an attractor that's basically a magnet that's really nice. And you can look at them if you pull up, this is JEI over here on the right side. If you do at artifact, you can see a list of all the things that it makes. So it's got the eternal steak, which drops from killing a cow, and if you smelt it, you'll get the well, this is everlasting beef. It'll turn into the eternal steak if you smelt it, and it's basically a steak that you can eat over and over. It's really convenient. The claws are always good, whether you get the feral ones or the digging ones. Like one of them makes you dig faster, other one makes you attack faster. All good things. The night vision goggles are fantastic. It gives you night vision all the time, which would be great if we can get those early because especially with uploading this and stuff to YouTube, it's gonna be darker from what I hear. This is our first time uploading anything to YouTube, so I guess we'll see.
So, although we're still gonna need a bucket. I think I'm gonna
Let's
flatten
see.
this area out a little more.
Creates a fire that quickly freezes into ice. Okay, well, Ars Nouveau has these like pre-programmed spell books that you can find, and a lot of times the cost to cast them is stronger than what you would normally be able to cast, which is why it has that little thing at the bottom that says cast a spell at half the cost or the user's entire mana bar, whichever is smaller. It makes it so that even if you don't have enough mana to cast a spell with that many steps in it, you can still cast it. It may just take your entire mana bar to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and claim this area that we're setting up, and we might move eventually, but I just want to have protection from creepers blowing. That's the other benefit to having a claimed area, is that in addition to the fact that, other players wouldn't be able to access your stuff, you also can't be griefed by mobs. So like if a creeper blew up in a claimed area, it just doesn't break anything. So to do that, I hit the M key. This is it. So left clicking it claims it, and then shift left clicking it puts those little lines across it, and you'll see it says force loaded. That just means that even if we're not here, things continue to happen. So for example, if we have energy charging up a battery, it would continue to charge. Now, usually you can edit the render distance on your server and stuff, but usually if a player gets more than like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 16 chunks away, it unloads it, which is just to save on memory, because if the game was trying to load the infinite number of space that exists all the time, it would just run out of memory and stop working. So when you move away from something, generally it will unload that chunk so that it basically no longer exists. With it being force loaded, even if we're outside of it, at least this one chunk, so everything inside of these borders will continue to do what they would do as if you were still there.
Okay, good. The first thing is a drawer, because I am now going to make us our very first drawer out of functional storage, because I just picked up a lot of dirt, and that is entirely too much dirt for our puny little chest to handle.
So these functional storage drawers are kind of OP. Their predecessor was storage drawers, and then somebody was like, let's make this better, and they did. It's a little different, so if you're old school and you're used to storage drawers, you're probably like, what's going on with these? There's a lot of things that are more convenient. For one thing, you don't have to make a key in order to see how much is in it, so you just get to automatically see the number. You can see 476 dirt is in there, which is super convenient. You do have to make these linking tools in order to use the storage drawer controller, which requires you to have access to some diamonds and some emeralds. So that's a little bit more expensive, and in fact the upgrades in general for this mod are much more expensive, but the yields are way higher.
You are able to store exponentially more than you were in the other storage mod.
Yeah, storage drawers was the old one. So I like it a lot better. It's a little bit more expensive for the mats that you put into it, but it's just better. And they don't have to touch. Like normally you would use trim from storage drawers in order to connect your drawers. You don't have to do that with these. You can wirelessly link them to your storage drawer controller, which in this one, add functional, is called, yeah, storage controller. It used to be called a drawer controller in the other one, but they're essentially the same thing. Like Sorb's already cleared out our chunk here, so that we can hopefully make some walls. I do have a bed that I got from the village, so I'm going to place that down so that we don't get murdered.
So if you look, with no upgrades, a single storage drawer can hold 2,000 items. Now,
Which is the same as functional, our storage drawers did too. But the difference comes in when you put in one upgrade. Like one upgrade is so much more massive than one upgrade from storage drawers.
put my bed on this end because I don't like being next to him. He smells.
Alright. Well. See any mountain facings that would be convenient? Right here is fine. I just gotta have a way to get back up. You got, oh, I got some dirt and fine. Okay, and then yes, of course, there's a skeleton. Oh my goodness.
I use a few of these stone pickaxes that I'm gonna make to go get us some more iron.
So Waystones is from the Waystone mod. A lot of people that have played modern Minecraft are probably familiar with the Waystone itself. What you might not know is that there's a couple of other super convenient things in Waystones that you can make. One of them is the warp plate. Is you just walk over it and it'll automatically teleport you. It doesn't have an XP cost that comes with the default way of making Waystones. In addition, it will teleport mobs. So if you didn't have a way of moving your mobs for your mob farm conveniently, like if you're using vanilla mechanics of like water streams or something, you could just push them into that plate and it would teleport them to wherever you wanted your kill zone for your mob farm to be. So that's convenient. There's also share stones, which, unlike waystones, the waystone, your knowledge of the location of the waystones is linked to your player's data. So if I know where this waystone is because I was the one who set it down, but Sorb hasn't right-clicked it to know its location, he would not have access to this yet. But I would, because it's linked to me. And he can add it by right-clicking it. But if I had made this a share stone, then he wouldn't have ever needed to come here and get this one's information. He would just be able to click on any share stone and be able to see any other share stones that are linked to that same type of share stone. So it's just a convenient thing for modded servers, especially if you're playing with a lot of people and you want them to be able to get to your base, but you don't want them to have already clicked on it to get it. They just logged in for the first time, but you want them to still be able to come there. If they can get access to a share stone, they would be able to see your base because your base is also on that same share stone.
And I believe applied energistics, you actually have to acquire items to start it. So we'll leave that one alone for now.
And they just added refined storage to this mod pack. Now, previously, when we had done the testing on this in the older version, applied energistics was all that it had, and that is what we did. So here's my thoughts on applied energistics versus refined storage. They're both digital storage systems, but applied energistics requires a lot more thought into how you make your network, and it has some limitations to how like its pattern providers work. It
Why does
should
this not work?
update when we both do stuff, but here's
Oh,
the
you know
thing.
what?
It's
But
still
look,
stuck on the just to get the stone.
yeah, that's bugging.
Okay.
Um,
So this is what we can do whenever you have a bug like this. Now you would need to be an admin or get your admin to help you with this, but you can do /ftb quests and then go to editing mode and then set that to true. So if you're in editing mode whenever you're looking at your quests, you will, like when I click on this, you'll see it looks a little bit different. So I'm going to right click this and I'm going to go to complete instantly, and that's going to just complete that quest. It should have already been completed because we had already met the criteria for us to do that, so that's why I'm doing that. And then FTB quests and then editing mode and false. So now it's back to normal. But that's how you would fix that if you run
nice.
into that situation, which already allowed us to complete the Stone Age part. So now we just have to get the building materials, and it wants us to get a chest, which we already have.
I wonder if you could pick it up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna break this one chest and put it back.
I found a cave. Great. I'm scared. So caves are usually very useful at the beginning, as in on many Minecraft servers, but kind of scary when you walk into one right at the beginning with no gear.
Yeah, if we can get our Rs book going, did you already make it?
I need paper, make books, and leather actually as well.
Okay, so we should.
But
We've
currently,
got some Wilden Wings. We can turn that into leather. We've got
that's good.
2 of them, which is enough to make. And then all we need is either some sugarcane or some sawdust. So I'm gonna go searching for either of those. Sugarcane should be pretty easy to find. Usually, if they can only grow next to water. So if you just follow a water source long enough, eventually you'll find some. I found some sugarcane. The tried and true method of just following water. So we don't want to go searching for sugarcane every single time we need paper. So eventually we'll get paper just from having a sawmill. You know, if you use sawdust, it gives you even better returns from making paper. But that requires us to have power and mechanism up and running, so it'll be a little bit of time before we have that. So I'll just get enough sugarcane that we can plant some and grow it, but still be able to make the 2 books that we need in order to. And I
Oh,
didn't set my home. Did you set your home?
nope, probably should come back and do that before I go and kill myself in here.
Yeah, that's another tip for modded. At least so FTB Essentials is the mod that allows you to have the /home/back. And some servers will have it disabled because they'll view
That's
that as
yours,
just.
and then go ahead and do a TP/TPA to Sorb, because I found some goodies.
Alright, so this is another thing you can do on any server. You don't have to be modded for this. If you do a TPA, and then I'll just do Sorb and tab over, it sends him a request that says, hey, this person wants to come to your location, and then he accepts, and then that will teleport me to him. You don't have to be a mod in order to do that, and it is something that you can use on the server. Another thing that you'll sometimes do is if you spawn in a location that's just awful, like I've spawned in like ice biomes that are basically surrounded by ocean with no wood to break to make a boat, and you are just stranded. If that happens to you, anyway, if you spawn in a location that you can't get out of, you can do /RTP, it's random teleportation, and it will just find a suitable location anywhere in the world, usually pretty far away. I think it's like 10,000 blocks or something from your current location.
Incoming. I found an Enderman.
Yeah, you did.
So, problem is I can't get him to come to me. I think he already despawned. There he
He's
is.
coming. We just need to break this block. I'm gonna break that block, and then he'll be able to walk
Okay.
out.
All right,
Oh,
here we go.
yep, he found it.
He found me. There's a bunch of iron and copper in this area too. I'm just trying to light the way forward so we don't die.
Do we
Sweet.
have a crafting table over here anywhere? So it starts
Martian
from.
man, take a peek at my screen real quick.
I see.
See that?
I don't know why you can see that.
I'm not sure what's occurring here.
Hit E and see if you've got any buffs on you that are doing something. You do.
Crimson Iron Sight. How did I get
Oh,
that?
you must have drank potions. I think that there are rewards from the quests that we're doing. So you probably drank those. So potion
Oh,
master.
it wasn't that. It's these the magic lollipops. Effects are unpredictable.
Okay.
Okay. I was like, this is unusual.
It's Halloween right now, so we've got these ghosts popping up all the time. You'll definitely see them a lot.
I believe I am out of torches, so I can't really go much further safely.
Alright, we've got enough iron that we should be able to make what we need.
I looted 8 in total myself.
Oh, there's some right there.
Wish I could get rid of the coal sight. The iron sight's kind of nice, but I can't tell which is which.
Alright, but we'll definitely be doing more mining, but that should be enough to get us started. I like to get the arsenal going ASAP. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of tools. You can do a lot of things with it. And in late game, it's not as great, so I would definitely take advantage of it in the early game because that's when it's really powerful. By late game, especially in a kitchen sink mod pack like all the mods, you're gonna find tools that are just way and above more powerful than what this book can do. But for early game, it's pretty darn good. How did you get in here?
I believe it's right here. Look. Right here. Just come kind of... Well, I guess let's break that one. Oh, how did you do that?
I have bunny slippers. I can jump 2 blocks.
I'm not jealous, not at all.
See, we need to make some walls. I would like at least our first episode to end with walls. You had found a waystone earlier, and I assume you found it in the village. And
Yep.
underneath of the waystone is a block of glowstone. Have you found and or broken that block of glowstone?
I have not.
Because one trick that I like to use in early modded Minecraft, if you don't get like just a lucky amount of resources, like sometimes you can find a dungeon, you can get just a ton of resources.
Oh.
You could go straight into refined storage or applied energistics, but if you can't, Integrated Dynamics does have a version of digital storage that just attaches to external inventories like chests and drawers and things like that. And that's probably how we're going to start our series, just because it's convenient to be able to see all of the items that you have access to without having to scavenge through all of your chests at the same time.
I could not agree more.
But to do that, we need a little bit of glowstone. And if I can avoid going to the nether right now, that would be my preference. So do you know where you had found that waystone at in this village so I can try
Nope,
to...
but I could probably find it.
Alright. Let's put these bunny slippers to some good use.
Uh, which is a good time to show everybody how that block placement works.
And how bunny slippers work.
Must be nice. Tell you what, I'm just gonna throw this waystone down there. You're gonna set it, and then I'm gonna TP to you. Just kidding. That's way more work than necessary. Except please. So I was thinking we actually set it right here, because if you look, this thing is huge.
I'm going to vein mine this andesite, because andesite is used in occultism, it's also used in create, and I exposed some iron ore over here as well.
Unclick this waystone when you get a chance. I don't suppose you also came down here with torches.
I did not, but I did go back to the base so I could make some. But I would prefer to just make the book and like
I'm with you,
get us light.
because I now have. I'm pretty sure I have a wither skeleton chasing me. Wait, nope. Maybe it's a
Yeah,
zombie.
we've got plenty of sugar cane. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me use this to make enough paper.
And we have
then
plenty enough iron at this
we
point as well.
we got 2 wild and wings in here somewhere. We did anyway.
Have not removed those, so they should still be there.
There they are. So the way I found that is this little filter up here, which is also Quark. You can click on it and type to search.
Dang, thought it was redstone. Got excited for nothing.
Found those wild and wings a little easier. So convert those into leather, and then convert those into 2 books. So our So we're gonna need a little bit of sticks. So I'll just grab half of this. Turn that into some sticks. Some iron.
This is the cave that just keeps on giving. I found an entire second section of the cave just as big as the first one.
Yeah, that cliffs update definitely made some big.
Yep. Very big.
Sword. Nope, I already had a sword. That's okay. I need to make 2 of these anyways.
There should be a shovel in there for you.
This one's the pickaxe. There it is. I pulled out the shovel. So
Isn't it
now if
ironic?
I type spellbook there, and I can just click the plus sign to add it in. It's another convenient thing in modern Minecraft. This is JI over here. It lets us.
Would you make me one as well?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Oh. Pickaxe level iron. That did not work as intended. The dimension was short, or it says pickaxe level iron, but it does let me break it and gives me a similar yield. Interesting. I believe that update also affected how much iron and whatnot is spawning in here. I'm not going that way.
Scribes table.
No. Get wrecked.
So one cool thing about the scribes table, if the spell, the stuff that you need for the spell is in a chest near it, it actually sucks it out of the chest and adds it for you. So I'll do an example of that. The first thing we're gonna want to make is a light spell. So I'm gonna make me some torches.
I will say, Martian, I did not know that it pulled it out of the chest for you.
That's pretty cool. So let's see if I. So it's going to use one torch, and then the other thing it's going to use is a lantern, which is just a torch surrounded by iron nuggets. So if I take
Hey yo,
that,
found some
get
gold.
some iron nuggets, do that, put the torch in. Now I've got a lantern. So I've got a lantern and a torch. So if I put these inside of that chest right there, and then I come over to this spell book and I say right click so that I can choose my things. I can filter up here in my search. So I'm going to look for light. There it is. You can see that it's going to take one lantern and one torch. I select it. It takes a little bit of XP from me. And then, yep, you see those little fly in there? It just took it right out of the chest, made it for me. Now I can right click that, and now it's added to my spellbook. So if I go here, I can go to create. I'm going to make a couple of different spells. So I'm going to do a projectile that breaks, so I can break things that I can't reach. I'm going to name this one break. And then I'm going to do a projectile that harms. This is kind of like just, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's range damage, so, and it's infinite. So call this one harm. And then a projectile for light, and we'll call this one light. And I'm going to go over here for the color picker, and I'm actually going to set my color to be blue, and then save it. So now when I put down a light, Grow me half.
I'm not even sure if it's enough to go all the way around, but I sure hope. That's the end of it for mine. Yes. Absolutely perfect. Safe from everything but phantoms. And spiders. Spiders suck.
I got a harvest moon. Okay, so I think that'll do it for today. It's just the first day of Minecraft, so not a lot's happened so far, but we'll get into some more interesting stuff starting on the next episode. So thank you for watching, and yeah, appreciate you. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.